Hi, my name is Tamar Willoughby. I'm the online enabler for the Lichfield Diocese, and this website building webinar is a step-by-step tutorial for designing and building your own church website. The software that we're going to be using in this tutorial is SquareSpace. SquareSpace is an all-in-one content management system. A SquareSpace subscription includes content hosting, professionally designed templates, 24/7 support, as well as access to a user-friendly platform for creating websites. The total annual cost of a SquareSpace site is £144 per year, and this annual subscription also includes a domain name which is free of charge for the first year. So with all of that in mind, let's take a look at 3 example websites that I've created for the purpose of this webinar. So in this webinar, you're going to be learning how to build a website using SquareSpace. Before we get into building our website, I'm just going to show you 3 example websites so that you can get a feel for the different kind of look that you can get with SquareSpace. Okay, so here's the first website. There's a logo in the top left, and then there's a navigation bar with a drop down. If there's a big banner, and then if you scroll down, a little introduction and some main sections of the website. So if we were to click through, so I'm new. So there's a little welcome message, an image, and then there's a Q&A about what you can expect going to the church. Okay, next up we've got Sundays. This is just a really simple way of explaining the 2 different services and when they are, and then a carousel of images which you can click through. Okay, and next we've got Join a Group. This page showcases all of the groups available to join at the church. So as you can see, it's quite uniform and it's the same kind of design throughout. Weddings. And these link through to the Your Church Wedding pages. So here, they're just engaged. Church calendar. Contact us. And giving. The next one that we're going to look at is this one. So straight away there's the I'm New button that if you clicked it, it would take you through to information about the church. So if we go home again, we'll scroll down. These link to the Facebook, Twitter and Instagram of the church. We've got a banner image of the church. We've got a Meet the Vicar, which links through to the I'm New / more information about the church page that we just went on. We've got information about Sundays, and then information about the community groups. Life events, so weddings, baptisms and funerals. So if we were clicking through to say we wanted to learn more about Sundays, just some information about Sunday mornings. We'll go back. Say we wanted to look at join a community, we'd click learn more. Information about the communities here. Life events. You can get in touch to learn about these different things. And then there's a contact us page. And a donate page. We have this one. So this one is a huge banner image at the front and center of the website, and straight away there's the I'm New. So we'll click there. This is the I'm New page. So it's really simple, really easy to see where the information is. Okay, we'll go back home, then we'll scroll down. So now they've got their vision, and then you can click through to see their vision. What we believe. Okay, we'll go back home, and we've got I'm New, Sundays, life events, join a group, the Meet the Vicar bit, and then 3 other buttons at the bottom: events, get in touch, and donate. So and these are all linked across the top as well. So our vision, meet the team, latest news, life events, get involved, Sundays, community groups, contact and donate. So let's go through these first. So I'm New, we've already clicked on because that was the first one. Sundays, this is just information about Sunday mornings. This is just information about Sunday services, so there's that one. If we go back, go to life events, explaining what life events are. And then again, we've got the Your Church wedding links here. Same for the baptisms and same for the funerals. Okay, and then we've got join a group. We can see all the groups that are running at the church. Again, this links through to the I'm New. So if we click events, we've got the events that are coming up in the church. If we go back, we'll scroll down to the bottom and click get in touch. We've got a contact form, a map, and the office opening hours, the address, email addresses. Got the donate page here. Just a simple way to donate. Then across the top, we've looked at our vision. We've got meet the team. We've got photos of the employed staff, and then the volunteers, the names and titles are here. And then this links through to the contact us page. So the latest news goes to the events page. And then we've seen the life events page. Get involved, we've seen the Sundays and the community groups page. And then contact us, we've seen, and donate, we've seen. So there we go. There are 3 different websites that you can build easily using SquareSpace. So we're now going to go step by step how to build a website using SquareSpace. So once you click Create Site, this is what you're going to see. And it's just all the templates that SquareSpace has. Along the side, they've grouped them together into different categories, so you could click on community and nonprofit and have a look through them and see if there's any that you like. But for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to go with 5 because it is one of the most popular ones with churches that I have found. So hover over the one that you want and just click Start. Okay, so we'll click Start. And this is where you give your website a title, which will usually just be the name of your church. So I'm just going to go with an example for now. So I'm going to go with example church. Here it's just asking you for a short little description of your church. Okay, once you've written that, you can click Done. Okay, and this is what you will see. So this is going to be the screen that you see every time you log into your website to change anything. So to start off, before we start editing and creating this website, I'm just going to show you what this means. This is how you control your website. There are 6 different options. I'm just going to go through each of them with you. So pages, if you click on pages, this is where you actually edit the content of your website. So this main navigation section is what will appear across here. This is your main navigation. And then if you scroll down, there's a section called Not Linked. And this is helpful if you want to have any pages on your website that aren't linked in the main navigation. We're going to talk about that in a bit more detail after. I'll show you why it's useful when we're actually building the website. So if we go back to this main bit, you've got pages, and then after that it's design. So design is where you control the way the website looks in terms of design. So the colours, the fonts, the size of things, if you put a logo, that kind of thing. So if we click on design, there are all these different things. So if you wanted to change your templates, even after you've made the website live, doesn't matter how long you've had the website for, you can change the template at any point. This is where you would do that. So you would click on template and there's an option to change it. The logo and title, that just means this, so whether it shows the title of your church or whether it shows the church logo in this top corner. Style editor changes things like the fonts, the colours, the spaces, so how thick your navigation bar is, how wide this banner is. If you don't want it to be full screen, then you can make it smaller and narrower, or you can make it even bigger. So that is what the style editor is. If you click on there, there are quite a lot of different options, so I would say have a play around with this, figure out what you like. Don't worry too much, just play around, because even if you completely mess up and you don't like the way it's turned out, you can always reset styles to defaults, which will make it go back to the way the template has set it. And some of these features, like the announcement bar, they are for the pro versions of the site. So there's a personal version and a pro version, which I've already talked about. So some of them are premium features. Analytics is useful. So your analytics basically shows you how well your website is being received. It shows you how many visitors you've had, how many page views. It says which pages people are looking at and how long they're looking at them for. It gives you a good idea of which pages are most in demand. So for example, if your weddings page is being viewed a lot and people are staying on that page for a long time, then you know that weddings are something that the people in your area are interested in. So it's quite handy to get some feedback on the website, and the analytics section shows you that. There is also an app, if you have an iPhone, which you can download, which has all your SquareSpace analytics on, so you can check the analytics on the go. Settings is basically what it says, so it's settings. You'll want to know the billing and account section. This is when you're ready to upgrade your website. So as you can see here, from the moment you start creating your website, you have 14 days of a free trial to build it and to decide whether or not it's for you. And then if you want to make it live, or if you want to carry on building it, you upgrade your website, and this is where you choose which package you want. So you'll do that either by clicking upgrade now, or if you have already upgraded it and it's a few months in and you want to just change the plan you're on or anything like that, you can click billing and account, and that's where you do that. This is all things like your domains, if you wanted to connect email addresses to the website. Connected accounts is really handy. It's the social media, so you can connect a Facebook page, an Instagram, a Twitter feed, a YouTube, whatever it is that your church currently uses, you can connect them and then display them on your website. So yes, this is basically what the settings are. Obviously I didn't go through everything, you can go through it yourself. And then the help, again, is just if you're stuck with anything, Squarespace offers 24/7 live chat support, so you can just ask someone who works at Squarespace and they will respond. Okay, so let's get into building our website the way we want it to be. So to change the pages, as I said before, we're going to go into pages, and we've already got all of these pages built for us. What I'm going to do is just delete these and we'll start from scratch. So to delete, as you can see, when you hover over the page, there is a little dustbin, and if you click that dustbin and click confirm, it'll delete the page. Delete, confirm, delete, confirm. So now we're just left with the home page, and it's currently not linked. So what we're going to do is click it and drag it into the main navigation, because we want there to be an option to go home. So it's currently in demo. Every page that you haven't edited yet that comes with your template, it will say demo, so you need to make it live by clicking this little settings icon. Edit the demo content to make this page your own, continue. So this is what pops up when you click the settings icon on any of the pages. So the navigation title we want to keep as home, but the page title, we want this to be the name of our church. Okay, we do want this to be full width, so every time you make a new page, just make sure that it's full width. And then the description will show up underneath the banner text, so the title, but we don't really want anything here, so I'm not going to write anything right now. Media is the banner photo, so the big image that's going to show. To change this, we'll just remove what's already there and we will add an image. Okay, so once that's loaded, we're just going to go and click save. And there it is, updated. So we've got a picture of our church, we've got the church name, but we need to change all of this. So as you can see, there's quite a gap between the banner and the start of the page. And I want to get rid of that, so I'm just going to do that by editing the page content. I'm just going to delete it. I'm going to delete these spaces. To move the content up the page, and I'm going to click save. I did that so that I could have that text in the header content rather than in the main body of the page. So I'm going to click edit header content and paste in the text we do want. I'm going to make that central, and there we go. I'm going to click save. So now there's not so much of a gap between the start of the page and the banner. So if at any time you want to preview what your website will look like, you can click this little arrow and it'll just make it normal website size for you. I'm going to click this. It needs to be like this in order to edit it. So as you can see, as I'm hovering over things, like things are popping up, and that's how you edit things. So if you want to edit something, you just hover over it and click edit. So now we're going to go into the main body of this homepage. We're going to hover over it and we're going to click edit. Okay, so this is the main body of the homepage as it currently stands. I am going to keep these here because they're a good basis to build off, but I want 3 more for my homepage. So before I edit this, I am just going to keep this spacer here, and I'm going to keep this line here, but we'll delete them later. So as you can see, as I'm hovering over things, these grey teardrop shaped things keep popping up, which have lines that spread out throughout the width of the website. This is an indication of where the thing that you add is going to go. So for example, if I hovered over this line and I clicked it, I could have the option to insert something new. So say I want to insert a button, and I'll click apply. This button was inserted directly above this section because that's where the line covered. So I'm just going to delete that and show you one more time. This line covered from the left hand side to the right hand side of this particular box, which means that whatever we insert here is going to be placed directly above this box. So again, if I click it and I click button and I click apply, it's directly above the box. I'm going to delete that. If I want it to be directly above this box, I would find the line that covered only that text, which is this one. So I'd click it, click button, click apply, and there it's appeared directly above this text. Again, I'm going to delete that. I'm going to do one that covers the entire span of both this one and this one. So I want the line that covers from the left to the right of the entire page, and I'll click that. I'll click button, and there we go. It's been applied right above both of them. Okay, so we want to create all 3 of these underneath. To do this, I'm going to insert an image. So I'm going to find the line that reaches from the far left to the far right, and I'm going to click it, and I'm going to insert an image. I'm not going to bother uploading the image yet. I'm just going to click apply, and then I'm going to do the exact same thing. So just above this image, the line that reaches all the way across, I'm going to click it and insert another image. Now I want 3 images to replicate these 3 here, so I'm going to do it one last time. The line that reaches all the way across, I'm going to click it and I'm going to insert an image, and I'm going to click apply. Now that I've done that, I need to drag them so that they're next to each other rather than directly on top of each other. So I'm going to click it and drag it until the line is right next to the image that I want it to go next to. So I'm going to click that, and there they are next to each other. Now I'm going to put this big one here in between these 2. And I'm going to want a line that stretches just from here all the way down to here. So I'm going to pick it up, and there's my line. That shows where what I'm dragging is going to be placed. So I'm going to drop it there, and there we go. Now I want a title for each one of these images, but I don't want them to stretch all the way across, like that would make it happen. I want it to go just above each image, in the same way that these text boxes are just above each image. So in order to do that, rather than using this line, I'm just going to scoot it to the right a bit and find this line, and that's the one that I want. So I'm going to click that, and I'm going to click text, and I'll call this one join a group. I'm just going to highlight that and make it heading 2. There we go. I'm going to do the same for these 2 images. So I'm going to find the line that only spreads the width of the image that I want the title to be over. Click it, click text, call this one calendar. This is where we'll link our church calendar. So we'll click heading 2, just so it's the same. And then last but not least, we will do it with this final one. And we'll call this contact us. And again, we'll make it heading 2. Okay, so now it's starting to look a bit more like this. So now we want another text box underneath each image. So again, same idea. We don't want to use this line because that will put it underneath all the images. We want it just on the individual image that we want. So we're going to click this. We're going to click text box, and we're just going to paste in the text that we want. Now, when there is text above another text box, it can get a bit confusing because SquareSpace likes to join them up. So before we do anything else, I'm just going to insert a line because that'll separate the two text boxes. So just a little tip, if you ever want to do multiple text boxes with different formatting, always separate them with a line, and you can undo that later by deleting the line. So I'm just going to have one that spans the entire width of the area that we're working on. I'm going to click line just to separate them. Now we'll carry on with the caption text boxes. So we want this one to span the width of just this middle image. So I'm going to click it, I'm going to click text, and I'm just going to paste in here the text that we want. And again, I'm going to do the same thing here, paste, and there we go. So the last thing that we need to do is insert a button under each text box. It's the exact same principle as before, so we don't want this one, we want this one. So we're going to insert it right underneath the text box. So we'll click this and we'll click button. And what have they set up here? More info? Let's write more info. More info. So can you see that this button looks different to this button? That's because it needs to be small and left, just so that it looks uniform. And we'll add the link to this later once we've made the page. So for now, we're just going to click apply. We're going to do the exact same thing underneath both of these text boxes. So we'll find that line, click button, more info, small, left, apply. And this one, button, more info. Oh, we'll do that later. Small, left, apply. Okay, so now we've got these. Now we can get rid of these spaces. So we don't need to separate them out anymore. Now you can leave this line in if you want to, or you can get rid of it. It's down to how you would like it to go. I'm going to get rid of it, but it really is just a design preference thing. There we go. Okay, so now we need to change these to match our website. So the first one, I'm going to put I'm new. I would recommend having an I'm new page front and center and very obvious place on your homepage, just because the people that visit your website are likely to be people who haven't been before, and it's really good to point them towards somewhere which will explain something useful to them about the church and make them feel at least a little bit more comfortable and a little bit more a part of it. So we'll call this one I'm new, and we'll have that as the first one. And we'll edit this photo, and ideally you would have photos of your church and the congregation and the people in your church, maybe someone having coffee with someone else, someone hugging or something like that, laughing together. I'm just using stock images for the purpose of this site, but definitely do take some photos of your congregation and of your church. So a little SEO tip, which is search engine optimization. In the file name, just type in the name of your church. It just boosts the SEO a bit. Okay, we'll click apply. Now we need to change this text. So to do that, you just click on the text, highlight it, delete it, and paste in what you want. Okay, and it's as simple as that. Once we've made the I'm new page, we will link this button and this photo to it. Okay, secondly, we're going to have information about our Sunday services. So I'm going to call this Sundays. I'm going to edit this photo. I'm going to remove what's there and add a new one. And we're just, again, going to call this example church. And click apply. Now we're going to change this text. Delete what's already there. And we'll paste in what we want. Okay, and as I said before, we're going to link this button later when we've made the page. Next, we're going to have life events, which will be the weddings, baptisms, and funerals section. So we're going to click edit on here and change this image. And again, we'll get rid of what's here and we'll paste in our text. And we'll link this button later. So now you can see this one is a little bit bigger than these, and it's only because the dimensions of the image that we used are different. So all we need to do is click on it, find this grey ball, click it and drag it until it's at the same level as the rest. And then we'll click off it, and there we go. Now we're just going to do the same for these ones. So we're going to add an image for join a group. We will just adjust the size of this one to match the others. There we go. And there we go. We have our first 2 rows of homepage. So save things as you go along, because if you close this now, then your progress won't be saved. So we'll click save and it's taken us back here. Now I do want to continue editing, so we'll just click edit again. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom and I'm just going to delete all of this here because I don't think that we need it. So we'll click the dustbin, click yes, click the dustbin, click yes, click the dustbin, click the dustbin, and click the dustbin. Okay, and we'll click save. Now we're going to edit the footer content. So we can get rid of this thing that says powered by SquareSpace, and instead we can put the address of our church in. So if we just hover over the footer content and click edit, we can delete powered by SquareSpace and we can write example church and paste whatever else we want in there. Church of England Church in the heart of Stafford Town Centre. Now these are showing up in red because we haven't connected any accounts yet, and we'll do that later, so then they'll show up. But if we click this, we can have a little preview of our homepage. Obviously nothing is linked yet because we haven't made any other pages, but we have a homepage. Now I do think that this is a little bit too close to this now, so we're just going to space it out a bit. So I'm going to click this and I'm going to click edit page content, and at the very top I'm going to make sure the line spans the entire width because I want something to go above everything. I'll click that and I will put in a spacer. Now we've got that, I'm going to click again, I'm going to add some text to it. I'm going to give a little subheading just to give a little bit more context. I'm going to choose heading 3 and I'm going to center it, and then above that I am going to click another spacer. I'm going to make it a little bit narrower and I'm going to click save. Now if we click this, we can see that we've got our header, our subheader, and then the main body of the page starts, and then we've got our footer. So this is our page so far. Now we need to add all of the pages that we've decided to pop here into our navigation. So to add a new page, you go to main navigation and you click the plus sign. Once we've clicked this, we're going to click page. We're going to create a page called I'm New. We're just going to start with a blank layout. You can choose any of these, but just for the purposes of this video, to show you how to start a page from scratch, we're going to go with blank and we're going to start editing. So as you can see, we actually do have a sidebar on this page and we want to get rid of this. So before we do anything on this page, I'm just going to save it. I'm going to hover over the page and click the settings button. And now as you can see, there's a section called page layout. If you click there, you can click full width, which means that it'll span the full width of the site. Basically, it'll just get rid of that sidebar for you. To reorder the position that the pages come in the navigation bar, you simply just click and drag. So we're going to put I'm New underneath the home page so that home is always first. Okay, so now I'm just going to make all of the pages that we want, and then we'll go in and edit the pages. So after I'm New, we've got Sundays, so we're going to click plus, we're going to click page, and we're going to call it Sundays, and we're going to start editing. I'm going to save it, and again we're going to click the settings, make it full width, and click save. So I'm just going to do that now for all of the pages. So the next one is a little bit different. We don't want a page, we want a folder because we want a drop down. So you'll understand what I mean as I do it. We're going to click the plus and we're going to click folder this time. We're going to call this folder Life Events, and we're going to drag it underneath Sundays. Now we have a folder called Life Events, which appears up here. Whatever pages we add to that folder will appear in a drop down underneath. There is an option to add page right underneath the folder, and you click that one. Click page, and we'll call this one Weddings. Okay, we're going to click save because we'll edit it later, and again we're going to make it full width. I'm going to click save, And now, as you can see, if I hover over life events, weddings appears. So we're going to do the same for baptisms and funerals. Okay, now we've got all 3 of our life events created. We're going to go across to life events and we can see that they drop down. Cool. Okay, now we're going to carry on. So after life events, we've got join a group. So we don't want this page to be within this life events folder. We want it to have its own section on the navigation bar. So instead of clicking add page here, we go back to adding it up here. So we click plus, click page. We call this join a group. Again, we're going to keep it blank, we're going to start editing, and we're going to save what we've done to the page. We're going to click the settings, make it full width, and click save. And I'm going to drag it all the way to the bottom. So be careful when you've already made a folder and you're adding more pages not to drop it into that folder. Make sure you go underneath the add a page button, just so that it's not in that folder, it's in its own little place. Okay, after join a group, we have the church calendar. So for this one, we're not going to click page, we're going to click events. SquareSpace has a different option for events, which makes it really easy to either add a calendar style page or to add an events page. So we're going to go with an events page for the purposes of this tutorial, but you can go with whichever you want, it's really a design preference. Okay, and we're going to call this events church calendar. We're going to click enter. Okay, so now we have a calendar. There are no events in there, but we'll do that later. So if we go back, again, we'll make it full width so that we get rid of that sidebar. Click save, and we'll drag it underneath join a group. Okay, so we're going to add 2 more pages. We're going to add a contact us page, and we're going to add a giving page as well. Okay, so now we have all of our pages. So if I click on the home button, we've got all of these pages across the top, and we've got them all here as well. Life events is the only drop down that we've got, but I don't think we need anything else. So now we're going to link the buttons and the photos that we put into the home page to the actual pages that we've just made. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. So hover over the main body of the page, it'll say page content, and just click edit. Once we've done this, we've got our editing screen. So we're going to go to the first photo that we want to add a link to, and we're going to click edit. We're going to go across to the right and click design. And then at the very bottom, there's an option to click through URL. So this means that you add a click through URL to the photo. So we're going to click that. We're going to go to content, which means we want it to link to something that's already a part of the content of the site, so a page we've made. And this is the I'm new photo, so we're going to find I'm new. These are all listed in alphabetical order, not in the order that you've put them in the navigation. So go to I'm new, click that, and click apply. And now this links to I'm new. And we're going to do the exact same thing for this button because they're all part of the same section. So we'll click the edit button, and this click through URL is going to be content I'm new again, and we'll click apply. There we go. So we're going to do the same for all of these. So edit, design, content, and we'll go to Sundays and click apply. And then same for the button, edit, content, Sundays, apply. This one we're actually going to leave, and we'll come back to this and I'll explain why in a bit. But we'll move on to join group, design, click through URL, content, join a group, apply. Same for the button. We'll do the church calendar. Oh, there we go. Okay, and last but not least, we'll do contact us. Okay, so the reason we didn't link this life events one is because there isn't currently anything to link it to. It's going to save what we've done. So the life events navigation that we made is a folder, and there isn't a landing place for just life events. We've got a page for weddings, a page for baptisms, and we have a page for funerals, but we don't have a page for life events. So we're going to make one, and we're just going to make it not linked. So this is where this not linked section comes in. The life events page is going to be not linked, and it's going to only be accessible through clicking this photo or this button. Once we've got to that life events page, we'll put links on for weddings, baptisms, and funerals. So there will be two different ways that people can reach those pages. The first way is by just clicking here, which one they want, or by clicking the life events button, going to the life events page, and going from there to the weddings, baptisms, or funerals page. In the not linked section, we're going to create a page now called life events. So we're going to click this plus, we're going to click page, we're going to call it life events. I'm going to start editing that. Again, we're just going to save it. I'm going to find it at the bottom, click the settings button, and we'll make it full width to get rid of that sidebar. And we'll click save. Now that it's there, we can link it on the home page. So we'll go back to the home page. We can scroll down to life events, we can click edit, and we can add a link to this section now. So we'll click edit on the photo, click design, go down, go to content, and life events will be just in and amongst all the pages that you've got, again in alphabetical order. So we'll click life events, we'll click apply. The same with this button here. Go to content, and we'll just click life events and we'll click apply. So now it's all linked. Okay, so now we have a fully functional home page that links to all the pages that we want it to go to. We just haven't filled out the actual pages. So if I click here, it takes us to the empty I'm new page, Sundays, the empty Sundays page. And if we go back home and we click, for example, join a group, it takes us to the empty join a group page. So all the links work. Go through every single one just to check, but they all will work. And all we need to do now is to beef out the website by adding information to these pages. So we'll start with the I'm new page. So the first thing that we're going to do is put this banner in. So we'll hover over the banner and we'll click banner. And we'll click add an image. So you can add either an image or a video to any of the banners. So if you wanted, for example, on your homepage to have a video rather than an image, maybe a montage of your village or of the inside of your church or something, or maybe a video that is like a montage of a welcome day that you've had, that would be great too. But we're going to go with a photo, so we'll click save. And there it is. Okay, so we've got our banner. Now we want to edit the header content. So we're going to go ahead and click edit, and we'll just paste in the text that we want. Maybe make this central and click save. Now we've got that, we can just go ahead and start editing the main page content. So we'll click edit. And I think first of all, I want to add a welcoming image. So I'm going to click the line that spreads across the entire breadth of the page. And I'm going to click image. I'm going to click add an image. I'm going to click apply. Now in my opinion, this is too big and I only really need this welcome message here. So what I'm going to do is click this and just drag it up. I'm going to make it quite narrow. And then can you see how that's not quite central? I'm going to click edit. I'm going to make it more central by changing the focal point for the image, which is this circle here. So I think about there works. Yeah, I'll click apply. And now we've got a little welcome message. So underneath that, I'm going to start with the information that a new person might want to know about the church. So what I'm going to do first is add a text box here. And I'm going to paste in some information. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is insert a line, just because I don't want the text boxes to join. Remember I said before, if you're adding a text box above another text box or below another text box, always separate them with a line until you've finished placing them, and then you can delete the line after, just because otherwise SquareSpace will join together the text boxes and you won't be able to move them individually. So we've got a line, and now underneath the line I'm going to add another text box, and I'm just going to paste in another bit of text. Now I want this bit of text to go next to this bit of text, so I'm going to click it, drag it until I get There we go, a line. So as you can see, it can be quite tricky to find the line that you want, but do just keep looking until you find it. We want the line to only be covering the place where we want the text to go. So for example, that would shift everything, including the image, to the left, and the text would go next to the image and the text, whereas we want it underneath the image and just next to the text, which is why we want that shorter line. And we pop that there, and there we go. Now I am going to make these central because I think it looks better, but you can do what you want. So I think I'm going to insert another image here to separate out a few more questions, just because having a whole block of text together in one place isn't necessarily the most appealing thing. So I'm just going to, underneath this line, insert another image. Okay, we're going to click apply. And once again, I'm going to make this long and thin, just so that it all fits on the same page and there isn't loads of scrolling to do. And again, I'm going to edit the focal point so that this guy's head is in the middle. There we go. Okay, so underneath this image, I'm going to add more text. I'm also just going to add a line above this because I think it looks quite good having that line there. So this is all design preference. You don't have to do any of this, but this is the way I think it looks good. So let's just add another line under that for consistency before we go for adding text. So add another text box, and we're just going to paste in here our next lot of text, which is there. Great. And then we're going to have another line, just again because we're adding two text boxes together and we don't want them to join. And just paste in your text here. And then I'm going to pick this up again and drag it next to this text box. There we go. And I'm going to central the text. There we go. And I've got one more text box to add, so I'm going to just add it underneath. Paste the text in. Make it central. And we can just move this line underneath. There we go. Okay, cool. And I'm just going to finish off with another photo because I feel like that will just make the page visually look better. So just find that line and add an image. Okay, apply. And again, I'm just going to make this more narrow because I think it's quite large. If you wanted to keep the dimensions, you could do that with SquareSpace, but I like the long and narrow dimensions of these, so we're going to go with that. There we go. So we've got our I'm new page. We're going to click save. And we can just preview that a bit. There we go. Our I'm new page is done. Next up, we're going to do the Sundays page. And the first thing we're going to do is add this banner. So we're going to click banner, add an image. Okay, and we're going to click save. There we go. We've got our banner. Okay, now again, we're going to do the header content. So we're going to click edit. I'm just going to paste in the information that I want here. And I'm going to make it central. There we go. And I'm going to save that. And then I'm going to start with the page content. So I'll click edit. And what I want to do here is just insert two graphics of a clock that I've made, just because the simpler the better, the less words and the more images that you can use to get the message across, the better it will be. So I'm going to do that now. Insert an image there, add the image. Okay, apply. And then I'm going to add another image underneath. Apply. And I'm going to drag this one next to this one. And these are quite huge, so I'm going to add spaces now to put them in the place where I want them to be and to make them the size that I would like. You have to play around a bit with spaces, but you should get what you want after playing with them for a bit. I'm just going to add one more in the middle. See how that made that one smaller? There we go. So I think they still need to be a bit smaller, so I'm just going to put that in a little bit, and that one. I think I like that size. I think I'll leave them like that for now. And then underneath each image, I want to just add some brief information about what they mean. So as you can see, this one says 8:30 and this one says 10:30. This is a good example of the lines. So we want the text to go just underneath each little clock. So just under the clock, we'll click that line, and we'll click text, and we'll just paste in the information that we want. Centralize it. Oops. And we're going to do the same here. So we're going to find that line, click text, paste in the information. And again, we'll just centralize that. So there we go. That is pretty much all that I want on this page, because the I'm New section explains a lot about visiting church for the first time, and we don't really want to overload people with information. We've already welcomed people, and we've already explained a little bit about what the different services are and who they're aimed at. So now I'm just going to add some images from church services, and underneath everything I'm going to go down to gallery and I'm going to add a carousel. So I'll click carousel, and I'm just going to choose the images that show a church. Okay, once they're uploaded, we'll click apply, and once again I'm going to make this more narrow. So I'm going to click save, and there we go. We've got our Sundays page. Okay, moving on to life events. So remember, this is just a folder, this isn't a landing place, and we need to go down to not linked and click life events, and we'll edit that page here. So again, we're going to click banner, add an image. Okay, so that's uploaded, we'll click save. Now, as always, we're going to edit the header content, so we'll click edit on there. Click save. Right, okay, cool. So now we can just edit the page content. So we'll click edit, and we're going to add 3 images, one for weddings, one for christenings, and one for funerals. So we'll click image, and we'll upload, and we'll do the same twice more. Okay, so now we're going to put them next to each other. Okay, cool. Now we're going to have the headings. So and now we're going to add the little descriptions. Okay, and now we're going to add the buttons. And we're going to link this straight away, because we may as well, to the baptisms page. And we're going to make it small and left. Oops, I spelled find. Okay, apply. And we're just going to do the same again. And now we just need to link these images. And there we have our life events page. So we've done all 3 of these pages. So if we previewed the site now and clicked on them, so click I'm New, it takes us to the I'm New page that we've done. If we go back home and we click Sundays, it takes us to this finished Sundays page. And then if we go back home again and click life events, it takes us to this finished life events page. The next page to do is weddings. So we're going to do the banner first, as usual. Okay, and now that we've got the banner, we're going to go ahead and edit the header content, and we'll just paste in our text, and again, just make it central for continuity, and we'll save that. Okay, now we're ready to do the main page content, so we'll click edit, and we'll start adding what we want. So for this page, I'm just going to link through to the Church of England information about weddings. Let's just start by adding a poster. And I'm doing a poster because I want the ability to write on the image. So I'm just going to add an image. So this poster is going to link through to the Just Engaged section of the Your Church Wedding website. So I'm going to make it a poster, and I'm going to add a button as the link. And the button text is going to say, find out more, and the URL is just going to be copied and pasted from the Your Church Wedding Just Engaged section. So I'm just going to paste that in there, and I'm going to click open a new window. And the reason I'm doing this is because this is a link that's going to open up a website that's not any page on your website, so there won't be your home page for them to easily navigate back to. So if it opens in a new window, that'll just mean that it opens in a separate tab, and they can go back to your tab whenever they want to. So I'm going to click apply here, and I'm just going to write here Just Engaged so people know what that is. Okay, fab. I'm just going to add another one here, and we'll sort out the design of this in a bit. It's not going to be that big, but we'll just add 2 to start with before we start messing around with the design. The next one that I'm going to have is planning your ceremony. So I'm going to have a photograph of a ceremony. Okay, cool. And we're going to go ahead and go to design, and we'll make there be a button on there, and we'll click find out more once again. And the add through URL is going to be pasted from planning your ceremony on the Your Church Wedding website. And again, open it in a new tab and click apply. And then here we'll write planning your ceremony. Ace. Okay, now we're just going to put them next to each other. So there we go. And I'm also going to narrow them just like I've done with the other ones, not maybe just that much. So I'm just going to add in a line here just to help with formatting. And underneath this line, we're going to go again and add another poster. Okay, and now we're going to add a button again. It's going to say find out more, and we're going to add the URL from the guest and special roles section of Your Church Wedding. Open that in a new window and click apply. And here we're just going to write guests and special roles. Fab. And now we're going to do another one right underneath it, the poster. While that's uploading, I'm just going to copy and paste the URL from More About Marriage. Okay, and we'll go ahead and go to design, button, find out more, and add the URL that we've just copied, open a new window and click apply. And here we're just going to write more about marriage. Okay, and we're going to pop this next to this, like this. And again, just make them narrower. That will do. That will do. And then you can't really read this, so I'm just going to change the focal point of this image and just bring that sign down so that we can read it. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of this line now, and I'm going to get rid of this text box that just automatically came, and I'm going to add 2 buttons. One is going to be more information about Church of England weddings, which will link to just the Your Church Wedding website, and one is going to be more information about getting married at Example Church, which is going to link to the Contact Us page. So I'm just going to insert a line to separate out the sections, which we can delete after, and we'll insert a button, and we'll call this More Information About Church of England Weddings. I'm just going to grab the yourchurchwedding.org URL and pop that in here, and again we're going to open this in a new window. The size, we're going to make it large, and we'll click apply there. And underneath it we'll add another button, This is going to link to our contact page. So we'll say more information about getting married at Example Church. Content, this is going to go to contact us, which will be up here, there. And we don't need to make this click through into a new window. We're going to make it large and we'll click apply. And then we just pop these next to each other like that. And there we go. You can either leave this line there or take it away, but I actually think it looks quite good, so we'll leave it there. I'm also, because we're having that there, I will put a line above it just so that it matches. But there we go. Fab, and then we'll click save. And we have our weddings page. So we've done weddings, and now we need to do baptisms and funerals. And again, we're going to link through to the Church of England pages for this. So first of all, we're going to pop the banner on. Okay, so we'll click save. And just like we did last time, we're going to edit the header content. I'm going to paste in our text and make it central, and we'll save that. And then we're going to edit our main page content, and we're just going to add some posters. So poster number 1 is we're just going to go again and add a button, find out more, and we're just going to link this through to the Church of England Christenings.org page. Paste that in there, open in a new window and click apply. And we're going to put guide for parents here. And then underneath that, we're just going to add another poster, which is going to be a guide for the godparent. Okay, so we're going to add a button. We're going to write find out more. And we're going to add this, guide for godparents. Paste that there, open a new window and apply. And we're going to write here, guide for godparents, and pop these next to each other. Fab, and we'll just make them a bit narrower. There we go. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to add a line and again add 2 more posters. Okay, and we'll go to design and add a button, find out more, and then we'll click through to the Church of England Christenings.org/for-guests, open a new window and click apply. And we'll write warm welcome for guests. There we go, and we'll just add another one underneath it. Okay, and we'll go to design and we'll add a button again, find out more, and we will link through to Church of England Christenings.org/after a christening and open a new window. We'll apply that, and now we'll just drag this to pop it right there and just make these a bit narrower again. So looks about right to me. There we go. And we'll get rid of this line here because we don't need it anymore. And again, we'll add those buttons. So we'll just add a line first to space it out a bit. And we'll click button. And we'll click more information about Church of England baptisms. And we're going to link this to the Church of England Christenings.org page. So click add for a URL, paste that, open up a new window, make it a large button and apply. And same again for contact us, we're going to add a button. We're going to write more information about baptisms at Example Church. And we're going to make this link to our contact us page, and we'll make it a large one, and we'll click apply. And there we go, and we'll pop these next to each other. And again, I'll keep that line there, and I'll just insert a line at the top as well for balance. And there we go, I'll just delete this text box. Great, now we have our baptisms page. Now I'm just going to do the exact same thing for funerals. Banner. Okay, and I'm going to edit the header content and just pop a heading in and make that central. I'm also just going to add a line and another text box here. And I just want to add some extra information in here just to help people out a bit, and we'll delete that then. Okay, and we'll save this. Now we're going to edit the page content. So first thing we're going to do is insert a line, because I always end up doing that at the end. We'll do that now, and then we'll insert a poster. And the first image, okay, and we will add a button, find out more. And again, this is going to link through to the Church of England Funerals.org page. Open a new window and apply, and we'll just call this here for everyone. Okay, and we'll add another one. Okay, and we will, if it does that, just click it to poster. I think I probably just added an image instead of a poster, but you can always click across. Okay, so we're going to add a button, and the button text is going to be find out more, and the add through URL is going to be organising a funeral. Open a new window, apply. I'm just going to call this arranging a funeral. Okay, and then we're going to put these next to each other, like this. And again, just change the size of them both. Okay, so next we're going to do a line, and we're going to add going to a funeral and after a funeral. So first, and we'll add a button, button, we'll call it find out more, and we want to link it to this Church of England page. Open a new tab, apply, and we'll call this attending a funeral. And we'll do another one underneath, which is after a funeral. Okay, design, button, find out more. The URL we're going to use is the Church of England funerals one. Apply, after a funeral. Gonna put these next to each other again and just make them a bit smaller. That's about right, I think. Okay, just going to delete this line now because we don't need it anymore, but we'll put a new one here and we'll add the buttons. More information about Church of England funerals. The URL is going to be this one, churchofenglandfunerals.org, and we'll just copy that in there and open a new window, and then we're going to make it large and we'll click apply. And same again, say button, more information about funerals at Example Church, and the URL is going to be linked to our contact us page, and we're going to make it a large button, and we'll apply that, and then we'll just do this, and there we go, our funerals page is done. So we'll go and build our join a group page now, and first of all we're going to add a banner. Okay, save. Okay, now that we've got our banner, we're going to add our header content. I'm just going to paste this in, and then we're going to add a line and then another text box. I'm adding the line between the text because of the text formatting. I don't want them to merge and have the same formatting. So we want this to be central as well, and now we can delete the line, and there we go. Okay, so there are 6 different groups at Example Church, and we're going to add a section to find out more information about each of them. The first thing that we're going to add is an image. Okay, so we're just going to apply that. Next thing we're going to do is add another image, apply, and then we're going to do one more before we start moving them around. Okay, so this one is going next to this one, and then this one is going next to this one. Cool. Now we can add the title and the description for each of these 3 groups. So we're going to find the line that stretches just over that, add some text, call this Children's Church. I'm going to make it heading 2. Fab. I'm going to do the same here. Text, call it Example Church Youth. Heading 2. We'll do this one. Text. Okay, and we'll just paste in some text about the groups. There we go. And the next one. Last one. Okay, and we're going to add a button underneath each one as well, called Find Out More. Or let's call this More Info. And we'll take this to the Contact Us. Small left. Okay. Again, button, more info, contact us, small, left, apply. And finally, more info, contact us, small, left, apply. Okay, cool. So now we've got 3 more groups that we want to add on. So we're going to add a line just for the structure of the page. And we're going to add 3 more images. Okay, and that's fine. Apply. And we'll add another one. And then the last one that we're going to add is the running group. Cool. And we're going to just format these the way we want them to go. And we're going to add titles to each individual image. So it's going to be the beer, board games and big questions group. Okay, and now we're going to add some more information about each group below it. Okay, and now we're just going to add some buttons. Okay, and that's our group page done. Okay, the next one we need to do is the church calendar. So if you remember, we made this an events page, so the way to add things to this page is by adding an event. It says there are no events, click here to add your first item, and you click and you make an item. So we'll do that after we've added a banner. Okay, we have our banner image, and now I'm just going to add the first event. So to add an event, you click this plus, give it a title, paste in some details about the event, go across to options, we'll add an image for the event, which will be like the thumbnail image that shows up. To paste in an excerpt from our information about the event here, which will show up on social media when it's shared. We'll give it a URL, so we'll call this Ignite Worship Night. Okay, so once that's uploaded, we can go back to content, and we're going to set a date and time for the event to happen. So we want it to start next Sunday at 7:30 p.m. and end on Sunday at 9:30 p.m. Great. Give it a location, example church, Stafford. There we go. And we'll just click save and publish. And now our event shows up here. We're going to add 2 more events so you can see what they look like stacked. We'll make this one a charity fun run. Paste in some information. Go across to options, add an image. Okay, that's uploaded. We'll go to content and we'll set the date and time. So this can be next Saturday morning at 9 a.m. and it can finish at 10 a.m. Cool. Location, let's say we meet at the park. And save and publish. Okay, and we'll add one more. We'll add a city prayer breakfast. Just paste in our text. Add an image. We'll set a time for this. It can be on Friday morning at 7:30 a.m. and finish at 8:30 a.m. Location can be at Town Hall. Okay, save and publish. Great, now we've got 3 events in our calendar, and this is what they will look like. Once an event has happened already, it'll look like this with a strike through. So this is our church calendar. Now we just need to do contact us and giving. So let's go to contact us. We'll add a banner. Okay, so as usual we'll edit the header content, paste in our text, centre it. We're going to add a line because there is going to be an extra bit of information that has different formatting here. So we'll go to text again and we'll paste in the second lot of text. And once we've done that, we can delete this line. Save. Great, okay, now we can edit the page content. So the first thing that I want to add is a contact form. So I'm going to add it here, form. Okay, and these are the things that you can ask people to fill out. So I think that's all we really need. And click apply. Because it spans the entire width of the page, I do want to add in some spaces. So I'm just going to insert one underneath and another one, and then drag them either side of the form. Make them a bit narrower. There we go. Okay, so underneath the contact form, I'm going to add a line, and then I'm going to add more information about the church. Contact hours, the address, I'm going to add a map, and I'm going to add an image of our church administrator so people know who they're contacting. So let's start with church office details. So underneath this line, we're going to add some text, and we're going to paste in that, and we'll centre it. Okay, so there's quite a bit of text here that I want to have different formats for, so I'm just going to keep inserting lines. We'll remove them all after, but I want to divide the text up by lines to keep the formatting. Okay, so we've got that now, and I'm just going to delete all the lines to join them up. There we go. So next to this, I want to add in an image. So on this image, I want to have a space to write some information about our office administrator, so I'm going to go across to design, and I'm going to make it a collage, and I'm going to click apply. Then I'm going to drag this next to the text, and now I want this to be moved down a bit so that it's kind of central to the photo. So I'm just going to insert a spacer right above it and drag it till it's approximately central. Okay, I think that looks about right to me. Okay, and underneath here I'm going to be adding a map showing where the church is. Okay, great. And then next to this map, I'm going to add some text. I'm going to write the address of the church. Okay, I'm just going to drag this next to the map. And again, I'll insert a spacer to knock. Okay, so here's our information. Okay, and last but not least, we're going to do our giving page. So we're going to add a banner. Okay, so we're going to add some header content. I'm going to save that. And we're going to add some page content. First thing that we're going to add is some text. And we're going to make this a link. So click here. We can edit the link. If we go to files, then we can add a file and upload a PDF document that lists the places where the money that people give goes to. If you wanted to include something like that on your website, I'm going to add a logo. I'm going to add some spaces to space it out a bit and to adjust the size. So this one can go this side of the logo, this one can go this side of the logo. I'm just going to make it even smaller. There we go. So underneath the logo, I'm just going to add some more text. I'm going to add a line and I'll add more text. There we go, and then I can delete this line. And I'm going to include one more line underneath there, and I'm going to add a button here which says click here to find out more information about giving on a regular basis. And you can link this through to your contact us page, or you can upload a document. I'm going to make this small and I'll click apply. And there we go, I'll click save. And that's all we're doing for this page. We'll keep it simple. And that's it, we have our entire website with all these links across here and all the links across here. Let's look at it, every page. We've got Sundays. We've got live events. We've got baptisms, funerals, join a group, church calendar, contact us, giving, and there we go. Thank you for watching this website building webinar. I hope that you found it useful. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. My email address is tamar.willoughby@lichfield.anglican.org.